how bad they are. And you guys have probably already seen them, but this is one of those things where I don't think you can see too many times, because just how fast and how bad the floods were just absolutely disgusting. So we'll just put that in. Let's make it a little bit larger. So I'm just going to go through some quick facts with what happened. And then, of course, I'm going to get into the fact that it was made political. Of course, with Trump doing all the cuts to absolutely everything, including the National Weather Service and another one, another letter organization that has to do with weather. I think it's like the FOA. I have it in my notes. Did cuts to those. So a lot of people a lot of Democrats, or a lot of people that hate Trump, are saying this would have never happened if Trump hadn't made all those cuts. So we'll talk about that. But first, let's just get to the facts of kind of what has happened, right? So in Texas on Friday, at least, where there was a terrible flood, and since now they're starting to do the cleanup, they're trying to start looking for people. As of now, it looks like at least 81 people have died after extreme rainfall and flash flooding in Texas Hill Country, known as Flash Flood Alley. Many people were caught off guard overnight, which is one of the big things about that. Extremely sad. 81 people. We're going to get into the summer camp of the girls that were there. I think they were mostly elementary school and high school were the counselors. So, all right. So one of the biggest things that were done with this were the Texas officials and just people all over social media that criticized the forecast accuracy, saying the rainfall amounts were underestimated. But the thing about it is a lot of people are saying that it's due to the people that were fired and that didn't work there. From everything that I've read, it's saying that it has nothing to do with that. It's mainly around the forecast and the communication of when the flooding, or when the rain and the downpour started happening, and it was of course worse than what they initially thought, right? So that's the first thing I want to get to, with people just saying, you know, this is going to be completely affected by Trump and all the people he fired. That is true eventually, but from everything that I saw, it doesn't look like it had anything to do with this. I will say this doesn't pass my sniff test of what they're saying the reasoning is, right? And the reasoning is, hey, they knew that there was going to be really bad rainfall. They knew it was going to be in a large area, but they didn't know where it would be the worst. They sent out communications the night before saying that it was going to be, this was like, keep in mind, this is like 4 months of rain in one night. So they said it was going to be bad, not nearly this bad. Then around 3 a.m. in the morning is when they sent out a mass alert saying this is a huge emergency. So a lot of people were saying, okay, how did nothing go on? How are there no alarms? How are no systems? For me, the thing that weirds me out the most of this is the forecast systems. How do you have 4 months of rain in one night, and you know it's going to be over a wide area, and you A, don't know how bad it is, or B, aren't able to start doing some sort of evacuation or tell people they need to evacuate hours beforehand? I don't really like the idea that, like, because everything's made political now, and we do live in a world where now it seems like everything has to be political because everything is politicized. Even from the thing of, like, we have science and organizations that are meant to do these things and look at these things, and we're taking money away from them. How are they not? They're saying that they didn't know how bad it was going to be. And I'll get off to the cuts as well. So, all right, the National Weather Service. The Trump administration laid off about 600 National Weather Service employees earlier this year and proposed deep cuts to NOAA research. That's the letters I didn't know. NOAA research. Okay. So experts, a lot of meteorologists are saying that staffing shortages didn't cause this tragedy, which I've been going into. They're saying that forecasting was solid given the current science, but communication and the unpredictability of localized extreme rain played bigger roles. That's the part of it I don't like. The current science and the unpredictability is what played a major part. I feel like there has to be, that's the part of it, is just the communication of once you know it gets bad. Are they sending like amber, like, you know how the amber alerts go off on your phone and everybody hears them? And at 3 a.m., like, they sent the initial things like during the day before on July 3rd. Then on July 4th, the morning of July 4th, which would have been like 3 in the morning, is when they said, okay, this is bad, a major alert. And they were saying this is when people are supposed to be asleep. Now, I don't get, like, to get your question, how were they not evacuated? Just don't get it. I don't get how the technology wasn't able to see how bad the rain was at least hours beforehand. And I don't know how there wasn't something set up. Like, this is hill country is what they call it in Texas. So this is an area that has a history of being flooded really bad. Like, how the preparedness for this just is what blows my mind. And again, they said in the future these cuts are going to affect things like this, and it will affect things down the line. But I don't want to get into the conversation of saying this is, if Trump didn't do these cuts to the National Weather Service and NOAA early this year, this would have never happened, and it wouldn't happen this way. That's not something that I want to say. I also want to say 81 people died. They're still looking for people. A lot of these people were girls out of summer camp and people that were the camp counselors. So you, of course, want to just say rest in peace to the families, and just the devastating and just terrifying. And of course, Now, let's get into a couple of things. This is a video. I want to show like a little time lapse of how fast it got deep. Let me see. So this is people. Okay. Here's one of people, like, I have like an up close version of these people recording it, and I have a far version. So let's see. What is this? Lake Travis, a flood control reservoir was, it already, is this feet? And there's new bedding pools or where the lake will stop rising in a few days. Okay. Let me skip through this a little bit. Look where it is now. So this is completely dry land. Of course, you see the street. And just look how fast it starts to go through, right? And look where they're standing now. This is what, 50 seconds in, and this is a 2 minute and 24-second video. And look how fast it comes through. And this is all dry land beforehand. Covers the street. You'll see it cover the street. And then I want to show the longer video too. The longer version. Let me show you. Let me find the longer video. Oh, really? Are you telling me I don't have it? Could have swore. And it's going to cover the entire street. Wait. Just how fast it does in 45 seconds cover the entire street kind of just blows my mind. Is that just me? Am I the only one that's like thinking that's kind of insane? And then where is... Maybe it's... Complete thing. And there, I really want to show this video. It's the video that I know you've seen, that everyone's seen. I just want to show the way the trees literally, it literally takes the trees down. That's really what I want to show. But if I don't show it, okay, is this it? Yes. Okay, I got it. This is the same video, literally in 30 seconds. But then, like, when you see that one, like, this is obviously, and stop me if I'm wrong, like, you can see the guy in the beginning wearing the yellow. You can see that this is the same video. I just sent it to myself. Let me see. This is the same thing. Look at this. Look at this angle of how fast. And this is obviously a time lapse. But look at this. Completely full. And then look at the trees. Bro, completely takes the trees down into the street. You can't even see the street anymore. Like, this is... You're telling me there's no technology that can see that this is about to happen, or something this bad? Like, even if you know, like, they're saying it's way worse than it was, even if you know you're gonna get 2 months of rain in one night, like, this is like, it just doesn't. I don't know what I want to say. I don't know what I want to say about how this happened until I look into it more, until I see more things that come out. I mean, we live in a world now, anytime you're seeing anything, we're seeing anything, it's been known for 2 weeks. So we probably won't know more about this until July, but it just doesn't pass a sniff test for me. And I'm not I'm not of the line of that, oh, if Trump didn't cut all the people out, this specific thing would have never happened. Because this is a communication thing, a forecasting thing, and I don't like the fact that, I don't like the answer, oh, they don't have information that does this. Now, I will say this. This is something that I do think is wrong. Again, people have been making it political like everything. So, of course, why can't I think of her? The press secretary, Caroline Levitt. Okay, Caroline Levitt had to go on and talk about it, and she basically does what she always does. And usually because... Biden's press secretary, like, we're kind of similar in the way that she never says that Trump is wrong. She is basically a bulldog, a media bulldog. She's gonna yell at the media, tell them this, say he's answered this, and she gets a lot of flack for doing it because she's like, Trump, she's disrespectful. But Biden's did the same thing, right? So that's normal. But I will say this. Her answer, just that like 100 people just died. Maybe there's a way you could answer this with more respect. You're still looking for people. A lot of these people were children. In the way she answers kind of the backlash of, hey, Trump just cut a whole bunch of people for science and things that look into this and does forecasting. And there's another video of someone, I'm going to play that just gives voice to the chance that maybe it is. I don't want to play some of the other videos where it just seems unreasonable and angry, saying stuff like this is going to happen all the time. But just this Caroline Levitt video is just kind of like,
once in a generation natural disaster. We have seen many falsehoods pushed by Democrats such as Senator Chuck Schumer and some members of the media. Blaming President Trump for these floods is a depraved lie, and it serves no purpose during this time of national mourning. Here are the facts. In the lead up to this tragic natural disaster, the National Weather Service did its job. Despite
I'm just seeing this. I see you woke up on Monday, went through your day, and decided to troll on a Monday night. I appreciate you for watching.
Keep watching. Keep
watching. I'm
sure
the National
we'll
Weather
Service
really
executed timely and precise forecasts and warnings. On July 3rd,
timely and precise.
The National Weather Service office in Austin, San Antonio, Texas, conducted forecast briefings for emergency management in the morning and issued a flood watch in the early afternoon. Flash flood warnings were also issued on the night of July 3rd and in the early morning of July 4th, giving preliminary lead times of more than 3 hours before flash flooding conditions occurred. And the National Weather Service office in New Braunfels, which delivers forecasts for Austin, San Antonio, and the surrounding areas, had extra staff on duty during the storms, despite claims of the contrary. So to any person who has deliberately lied about these facts surrounding this catastrophic event, you should be deeply ashamed. At this time,
there's not even just like a lie of just like with every answer you would think at a time like this is a horrible, terrible situation that happened, and we are going to do everything to look into and give funding and do anything that this community needs at this time. I understand the criticism on us. We're going to look into this. We're doing this. We're going to look into how this happened. We don't agree. We don't like the blah, blah, blah. You got to say the thing. But I feel like, and I get this is a 1 minute and 39 second clip of a whole thing, but it's like every minute and 39 seconds, terrible. Sorry for the losses of everybody. This is an awful thing. We will be going to do everything that we can to make sure that the families that were lost, we're going to help with the efforts. Trump is going to be there. Like, that has to be said all the time. And your tone of how you said things, like, she just has that same tone all the time. It's like every single thing. It just can't ever be human. It can't just ever be like, okay, this is terrible. People died. I don't even want to get it. How about sometimes you just say, because there's Democrats on the other side saying like, okay, this would have never happened. How about you just once take a thing? Hey, how about we don't do this? Mr. Tone Police over here. I mean, bro. The tone matters. Tone matters. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. Now, I will show this video, and this is, he says it in the video, it's like been a meteorologist for 30 years. I will say it's in Florida, and this is months ago, but a Florida meteorologist warned us on air back in June. He couldn't forecast storms anymore because Trump's Doge cuts gutted satellite data. Now, Texas floods, dead kids, now this is like making a big jump. Now, Texas floods, dead kids, understaffed weather stations, no warnings. They knew, they cut it anyways. Blood is on their hands. This is where it gets into like a really big jump that I think people just get politicized. But I will say, this is an interesting video to hear from someone. He says, again, I've been in this business for 30 years. So let's listen to what he says.
The hurricane was heading here. And as you've grown accustomed to my presentations over my 34 years in South Florida newscasts, confidently, I went on TV and I told you it's going to turn. You don't need to worry. It is going to turn. And I am here to tell you that I am not sure I can do that this year because of the gutting, the sledgehammer attack on science in general, and I could talk about that for a long, long time, and how that is affecting the U.S. Leadership in science over many years, and how we're losing that leadership, and this is a multi-generational impact on science in this country, all right? But specifically, Let's talk about the federal government cuts to the National Weather Service and to NOAA. Did you know that Central and South Florida National Weather Service offices are currently basically 20 to 40% understaffed? From Tampa to Key West, including the Miami office, 20 to 40% understaffed. Now, this type of staffing shortage is having impacts across the nation because there's been a nearly 20% reduction in weather balloon launches that carry those radio sondes. And what we're starting to see is that the quality of the forecasts is becoming degraded. There's also a chance, because of some of these cuts, that NOAA Hurricane Hunter aircraft will not be able to fly this year, and with less reconnaissance missions, we may be flying blind. And we may not exactly know how strong a hurricane is before it reaches the coastline, like happened a couple of years ago in Hurricane Otis in Acapulco, Mexico. So I was asked to talk about this today. I'm glad I was. I just want you to know that what you need to do is call your representatives.
All right. So yeah, I just can't believe, it's just hard for me to believe we don't have the technology. It's hard for me to believe we don't have the technology to know when there's going to be 4 months worth of rain in one night, which starts late at night, because that's when they said they sent it out. That starts that late at night, and there's no way to forecast that it could be that bad enough to evacuate people. And I also am of the mindset that, okay, well, say I do believe that their technology, we don't have good enough technology to know there's going to be enough rain to cause all of this that happened, right? Well, the answer for surely is not spending less money and those same organizations, those same people, for them to not be able to make technology better. So, yeah. I don't know. And nothing, with this organization, yeah, it's just sad. It's just sad. This is a sad one. This is a really sad one. All right. Let's get to the Epstein